Kevin Durant officially listed as questionable for tonight. He did practice yesterday with some of the younger Warriors players. How do you think KD's feeling right now?
I think it's interesting, spending time with him last night. Look, as a former athlete, you feel there's a density in the air about Game 5. That can easily translate into being somewhat anxious. But I think for him, watching this cat for a long time now, he's incredibly poised about the way he's going about this whole thing. Now, look, I would be shocked if KD don't play tonight. I would be shocked. He said he was in his bag in practice the other day. He said it felt good. It felt right to be on the court. I think the energy tonight could be built for a legendary moment. We saw a series in which the momentum switched. I'm not saying that's going to happen tonight, but with these guys back in the court, if they find that groove, there's a chance for that to potentially happen.
In the interest of full disclosure, you know KD better than most. That's why we're asking you and we're leaning on you. You know, obviously you're going to divulge whatever you want to, as is your right. I will tell you what I feel about KD. I think he's the best in the world. I think he's an absolute superstar, and I think that if there's any way that he could be out on the court healthy enough to play, I'm not concerned. I don't care about rust. I don't care about the fact that he's been out since, May 8th or something like that. I don't give a damn about none of that. I could care less. I want America and Canada. I want the basketball world to know. I am not worried about KD at all outside of his health. My only concern is his health. The folks that are out there talking about, well, if he's back, Stephen A. I mean, come on, Stephen A. The guy's been gone for a month. I mean, my God, what are you going to do? What can you reasonably expect from Kevin Durant? If Kevin Durant is healthy enough I'm talking about to play without pain, I can expect a lot. That's where I'm at. I'm with you. Where are you at?
You know what? But keep that right there, because if KD comes back and Kawhi is guarding him one-on-one and gets him, and then gets him on the other end, I want full credit for Kawhi, the best player in the world. How many teams and how many dudes does Kawhi have to give the business before people acknowledge it? We'll save that for later. Let me tell you, I don't know KD like that. I say hello to him a couple times after games, right? I know he's a fight fan. I like that. I think he's got heart. He's obviously one of the best players, not only in the world today, but ever. You know, he's a practically perfect player. So I'm not going to talk about how he is feeling, as Jay can. I'm going to talk about how I hope he's feeling. This is what the calculation I hope KD is making. I hope he understands, because he's got rabbit ears. He listens to what people say, burner accounts and stuff. And I think, by the way, we're watching them. No, it's real. We're watching the maturation of a young kid into a man, you know, throughout his career. He got to the league, he was a teenager. And we're seeing how he's getting more comfortable in his own skin as time goes on. And when he says, you know who I am, then he started playing better, right? I hope what he's thinking is this. Everyone's got opinions. Some of them are going to be negative about me no matter what I decide to do. Therefore, I hope KD isn't trying to please anyone but himself. And at that point, what you hope is it's important to him to be a good teammate, to be a leader, to win championships. And therefore, if he feels he's ready to go, he will. And if he doesn't, he won't. To hell with what anyone says. That's what I hope he's feeling.
Can I tell you, it's been that, though. I think for him, nobody expected him to come back in this camp until Game 4 or Game 5. So all this speculation about, is he really there for his teammates? Is he really a competitor? I'm sitting there saying, well, that's the prognosis. He wasn't cleared until Sunday. But look, I think I'm starting to get with you on the Kawhi train. I said before I thought he was the second best player in the country, in the world. I will say this. That dude being hobbled up, it's crazy how the narrative has changed so quickly on so many ends. A couple of years ago, it was like he doesn't want to play for his team. Now he's playing for his team, and he's proven that he's one of the most dominant players. It's the same thing for KD. We just had the conversation a week and a half, 2 weeks ago about him being the best player on the planet. And then all of a sudden, the next conversation the next day is, are the Warriors better without him? They're not.
First of all, anyone who ever suggested that any team that ever was is better without KD, that's an idiotic statement to make. Any basketball team ever is better when you add KD.
It was a real narrative, though. It was a real narrative, though. So to watch him deal with that, and then to combine that and bring that back here, tonight's going to be a show. I look forward to seeing Drake on the court side. I look forward to see Stephen A. Drake talk to Drake. I look forward to the trash talk and everything.
So you think KD's definitely playing?
Like I said before, I think I would be shocked if he does not step foot on the floor tonight.
When I did the NBA special before Game 3, owner Joe Lacob came on the show, and told me in front of a national television audience he expects to see KD this series. I said, hope? He said, nope, expect. You know, so they weren't expecting him for Game 3. They were anticipating that he would be ready for Game 4. He didn't get cleared to practice until yesterday. Obviously, the anticipation is that he's going to be here for Game 5, and so we shall see. My whole point is this. When I look at Klay Thompson and the way that he's been playing in the 3 games that he's played, man, shoot 59% for three-point range. He's averaging 24. Shoot 59% for three-point range, 55% for the field. Steph Curry's averaging 32. And again, his numbers are not great. Only shoot 35%. And for most people, that would be good enough. Not for him. Only 35% for three-point range, 42% from the field.